Hello there, commanders, and welcome to another Total War Arena news update. This time, they have dropped a developer blog for Technical Alpha number 2. It was called a Pioneer test. Oh, well, whatever, it's just a stupid name. So, I haven't read it yet. I literally just woke up to this news. I was like, oh, I guess I'm making a video today, other than the one I have actually planned. Maybe I'll make two, and we'll see about when I upload them. Well, let's go for it. Hello and welcome, commanders, to our developer blog. Okay, that's strangely similar to what I say at the beginning of my videos. But hey, at least we are going on the same wavelength. Through this blog, we hope to provide you, the community, with an insight into the world of Total War Arena development, updating you on development activities which are not automatically exposed, as well as primary topics, their challenges, and the thought process which surrounds them. COVID-19, oh, way to start. Creative Assembly has been closely monitoring coronavirus updates since the start of the year. In early March, the spread had begun to significantly affect the United Kingdom. The health and safety of all our staff is our top priority, and so shortly after the initial spread, Creative Assembly took the decision to ask all staff to work from home. Technical Alpha number 2 has therefore presented a host of new challenges for our development team and the company as a whole to overcome. So please bear with us during this difficult time. In spite of these challenges, we are pleased to say that the team has taken them in their stride, and as a result have produced and will soon be releasing the first ever Total War Arena patch developed remotely. Team Arena. The Total War Arena development team is a small but dedicated hit squad. Yeah, that's kind of sad that the team is quite small, and it has, let's say, hindered the development in the past. I do hope that Creative Assembly finally sees through their eyes and sees the real potential that Arena has and invests some money into making the team bigger. Because in the past, the development was just too slow. And, well, it is likely that it was because the team was too small. So, yeah. Bigger team, please. I mean, it's not obviously going to solve all the problems, but I think it would help. Obviously, you have to handle it wisely, as everything. Continue on. Is a small but dedicated hit squad of all which are fans of the game and excited by an official launch in China. I do hope that they're all actually fans of the game. I know a few of them, obviously, since I was and kind of still am a Praetorian. So I had direct contact with a lot of developers. I still have. So I know quite a few of them. Yeah, I do hope that. I mean, I don't know every single one of them, but those that I do know, yeah, they do talk about Arena quite passionately. So I am willing to believe that. I just hope it is the case for actually everyone. But that is most likely not the case. So, they're fans of the game and excited by an official launch in China. The majority of the team are veteran Arena developers, having been on the project for a significant period, some since its inception over 7 years ago. Well, it is true. Arena was announced in 2013, that it is being a thing, together with a Rome 2 release. That's how I got to know about it. I got my Rome 2 pre-order. Greatest decision of my life. And inside my box of Rome 2 was a leaflet that says Total War Arena is in development and brief description of what Total War Arena will be. And I was like, holy shit, is everything I ever wanted from a Total War game. Yep. I mean, I also still like and want good campaigns, but in terms of multiplayer, everything I ever wanted. Like, I was doing arena style battles in Napoleon as well, where you go 4v4. Everyone gets small funds, so 5k in case of Napoleon. That was before the time you could actually put custom funds. So yeah, you had a team of 4 people, that had to min-max their builds. So one guy would be the cavalry guy, and he would take the best cavalry faction. The other guy would be the best light infantry faction and take on the light infantry. And they had, cooperated with each other, and it was great. And then Arena was all that, just, actually properly developed for that purpose. Oh, hell yeah. Well, let's continue. Because we love the game we're making, expect to see us participating during Technical Alpha 2, and please give us a wave followed by a solid charge. Yeah. Let's say I do hope that I meet the guy who made the decision to make the artillery rework and give him a solid charge. That I would like to do. Actually, I'm going to be doing something very fun during my streams of Total War Arena, during Technical Alpha 2. It will be a surprise. It will be a challenge that during one day I can only have one certain playstyle and I'm not allowed to do anything else. And I'll try to make it work, and we'll see how well it works. But if it works, like I am afraid it will, that means the game's broken. But hey, maybe that will shine attention towards the problem, which has been in Arena since patch 3.1. So that's your teaser. Maybe you can already guess what it is. Let me know in the comments. I mean, some people already know because I've told them. But those are just few select SUNTZU members. So you guys who know what I'm talking about, keep shot. Let the other guys guess. Okay, game mode. For those of you who participated in Total War Arena's previous release, one of the major alterations you would have noticed instantly was our new game mode, aka territory mode. Hey, we finally have an official game mode for name for that game mode. In early 2019, the team sat down and reviewed Total War Arena's primary issues. Well, at least it's nice to know that Total War Arena team in 2019 was like still going on. I mean, maybe they never shut it down properly. Oh, maybe that means they still believed in the project and were wondering what to do with it once the deal with Wargaming was over. So it's nice, but you could have told us earlier than August, which is definitely not early 2019, but well, maybe they didn't want to announce anything before it was 100% sure. Then again, what? Breaking Kingdoms released in March, I believe? No, don't remember exactly, but I think it was also early 2019. So yeah, a bit of history for you guys. Total War Arena has been announced to be dead, I think, on 28th of November 2018. Sometime at the end of maybe 27th, doesn't matter. By the end of November 2018, and then servers were kept online until 22nd of February, if I remember correctly, more or less. I wonder if they did that maybe while still servers were off online. Well, we won't know. Maybe one of the developers watched this video and will tell us if he can, or she. After many long discussions over objective data and subjective feedback from our players, we came to the conclusion that there were areas of change needed to fulfill the mission of delivering an engaging multiplayer experience for everyone. So we looked to adjusting Arena without ripping the heart of it. I can agree with that. They kind of succeeded in that, yes. Also, about the team, I actually recently talked to one of the developers, and I was like, hey, I made this awesome feedback about the game, and here's the video for it. Referring to our feature podcast, because I know that guy was a feature guy. So I was like, hey, feature developer, here are some SUNTZU ideas for features. And he was like, oh, I'm sadly not working on Total War Arena anymore. Well, he didn't say sadly, but it is sadly for me, because I actually talked to the guy a lot back when Arena was online in the West. And honestly, he was great. So props to that guy. Let's go back to the developer block. We needed to understand the alterations we wanted to make within a reasonably short period of time, and so required a process which would enable fast iteration. To achieve this, we needed two things: a flexible prototype, which would enable us to easily pivot into new directions as we progressed, and frequent internal playtests to enable us to measure how we are progressing on our goals. With these things in place, we began our investigations, discovering issues and solutions as we progressed. In summary, the core issues we focused on were: the game flow was not conducive to player learning. The goal of kill the enemy or capture the base was too long term and did not help a player understand how to approach the battle. Correct. When making a mistake, the player would often be eliminated and have to wait for their commander to become unlocked, a long learning loop. Good point. Players were not engaged with the battle all the way through. They still aren't, and that kinda is more emphasized now. I mean, depending on how do you interpret that statement, all the way through until like, meaning from the beginning to an end, because if you die in the middle, you kind of are not engaged anymore, right? But then again, in the new game mode, you also have a lot of downtime when you, for example, die, you wait for respawn, and then have to go all the way to the front line, or you don't die, and you have to go back to a healing point and then go back again, which kinda in certain circumstances even takes longer than just dying and respawning and walking all the way again, which is an issue because, you know, dying in that scenario is better than not dying. So yeah, can someone note that down from the developer team, please? Thank you. I mean, I already provided that feedback to them, but yeah, please write it down. There was generally only one exciting fight before a player became disheartened and left, or won easily, rather than a series of exciting highs and lows. I disagree with that. But then again, you know, I'm one of the better players of the game, so I mean, I'm the best. But so I did have actually multiple fights within one battle, and found all of them exciting. It might be the case because I was mainly an archer player, but even in the games I didn't play as an archer, I didn't feel like that. So wasn't a problem for me. But I guess for maybe less experienced people and people who didn't play with a team like like I did most of the time, then yeah, that could have been an issue for them, and I can easily see the argument. So yeah, I will give them half a point for this one. The mode was not conducive to highly competitive play with deep and varied strategic options. Disagree. I mean, I've hosted tournaments, I commented tournaments, played in tournaments, and they were competitive, and the tactics that we had were deep, and they were various strategic options. All of these points are invalid. But this is in tournaments. If they refer to random battles, I mean, it's hard to call random battles highly competitive. So I don't know what they're going for here. But are there any more competitive now? I also don't know. Not really sold on that point, to be honest. I mean, the game mode changes a lot of the dynamics, but for every new thing it gives, it also takes some things away. But I mean, overall, it's a positive change. But in terms of competitiveness, things stays roughly the same, to be honest. Although, if we, you know, look at into it actually much deeper, like from esports perspective, possibilities of comebacks I think are more likely to happen now, right? Since all the respawning. Yeah, I mean, I also had an insightful talk with one favorite developer of mine, which isn't developing Arena anymore. So yeah, I am inclined to agree with a lot of his points. He made a lot of good points, and it can be further improved, as we talked. Anyway, moving on. With only one core objective, there was little room for adaptive play. There are two core objectives: either kill everyone or capture the base, or have more points at the end of the timer. So, I mean, it's better now. I mean, there are more objectives, right? And if they add dodges, they'll be even more. Hey! Luck could play a greater part in the outcome of the battle, meaning consistently good play from a team was not recognized. One small mistake or bad matchup could spell the end of the game. Yeah. I mean, obviously mistakes are still there and they are still punishable and everything. But yeah, they do have smaller impact on the game. But whether you want to, I mean, okay, they have also put luck in air quotes, or literal quotes. So yeah, I wouldn't define it entirely as just luck. It's also, you know, just skill to not make mistakes. Sometimes you get unlucky because you made one stupid mistake, but hey, if you were better, you wouldn't make that stupid mistake. So yeah, keep getting better and keep eliminating those mistakes. Continuing on, in parallel of these issues being discovered, what? Are they saying they have only discovered those issues after Arena died? I mean, that's kind of shameful. Okay. Maybe it's just the wording. We were implementing solutions, iterating in a fast but effective manner. That definitely implies that it was after Arena died. The result of these solutions are the game mode, now known as territory mode. The following is a summary of those solutions accompanied by a high-level reasoning. With the introduction of waypoints, can you call them capture points as they're actually called in the game? With the introduction of waypoints, the player has short and medium-term goals to center. Nice. RE. They're thinking around, improving their potential to learn. When a battle starts, they know exactly where to go and have a fixed position to form this strategy around. I mean, okay, it's just shorter term and the goal is a little bit closer, but from what I've seen, people still don't really know what they're doing. They never did and they never will. No matter how much you hold their hands and guide them. And yeah, being 13 kind of sucks because my mutation is still undergoing, as you can hear. Or maybe it's just dry throat and early in the morning. Maybe I can remedy that by drinking some water. Quick technical issue break. There we go. I guess that may be better, but maybe not. Professional YouTuber that doesn't have a voice to actually be one. Where were we? Okay, let's go over it again. When a battle starts, they know exactly where to go and have a fixed position to form the strategy around. Yeah, players have no idea where to go, so I'm gonna disagree with that. With the introduction of respawning, a great number of things are improved. Players can make a mistake in early game and quickly return to the fight, allowing for better, faster learning. I do agree with that. Yes, I mean, you died, and if you're smart enough, you can actually analyze what happened and make a conclusion as to why you died, and then hopefully not make that mistake again. And you have like, pretty much immediate implementation, right? Like a minute or two after, so you have time to actually sit back and think about it when you respawn and go back to the front line. So yeah, that's a good point. The flow of the game has more exciting peaks and is more strategic and fair as players are able to engage multiple times against different opponents. There's more exciting peaks. With all the mistakes being, less punishable, the excitement kind of also goes down. Because, oh, this guy just got eliminated, what the hell, oh, they're doing, oh wait, he will respawn. So yeah, the peak is much lower, but okay, maybe there are more of them, so I guess the wording is still correct. It's just the peaks are not very peaky. So yeah, there's that. But hey, they didn't say that, so they're at least not claiming falsehood here. Continuing on, with the inclusion of unit levels, tickets, waypoints, and respawn, competitiveness and strategy is enhanced. What the hell are tickets? Oh, tickets are the points that you get, and you get to 3,500. Okay, can you just call them points? Sake. Yeah, well, that would be confusing with the points you get as a player for your performance. Okay, well, I guess call them tickets, but that's a stupid name if you ask me. Can you just call them, victory points? Which would be different than player points, performance points, basically PP. And remember to have a big PP. If you have big PP, that means you're a good player. Players are afforded small mistakes at the start of the game, then become increasingly punishing as time goes on. That is kind of my issue with like the game speed at the beginning being feeling a little bit too slow. Like I had a lot of cases of where I attack, right? We meet in the middle of the battlefield at the beginning of the battle. We win the engagement as a team, and then move forward towards their respawn point, capture point, which has a corresponding respawn point nearby. And they come out of this respawn point quite quickly, and it feels as if close to no progress has been done. And it's counteracted by the fact that we are not full health anymore, and they are. And in most cases, we don't even have rank 1 troops yet. Maybe we're ahead in experience, but we are not rank 1. So yeah, and then we get pushed back because they're full health and we're not. So yeah, that just doesn't feel right, and I hope they will improve it with maybe the respawn timers, maybe experience gains. These are just numbers that are easy to tweak. The core idea is good, so you just tweak the numbers, find the right balance to provide the right feeling. Continuing on, what's the learning? Yeah, that was, yeah, that's what we discussed in peaks. Yep. With the inclusion of unit level, that was also, yeah, strategy is enhanced. Players are afforded small mistakes at the start of the game. I also read that, yeah. This tests player endurance and focus. I mean, does it though? Like much more than it already did? I mean, endurance and focus, I guess you have to endure until you die and focus until you die, and now you don't die, so maybe it's longer, but that kind of is just a blank statement, not saying anything, to be honest. So I'm not giving you points for that, creative assembly. Players are rewarded for consistently good play, as they were before. I guess you just have to hold up the consistently good play for longer and be more consistent, but if you are consistently playing well previously, you are also rewarded. So yeah, and by holding more territory and winning engagements, a team will pull ahead in points and power. Well, previously we just get ahead in points and power relative to the enemy team by having more soldiers. Now you're getting ahead of the enemy team by having experience advantage, I guess, and being closer to meeting the victory condition, which is getting 3,500 points. So yeah, also kind of a empty statement. There are more strategic options and opportunities to adapt and react to your enemy. I mean, kind of yes and no, because more strategic options, they kind of force you to, go for the base caps. No, well, not base caps. The capture points caps. So in that term, you have less strategic options, because previously, like, the entire map was played. Now we talked about the issue of people just funneling into those lines and playing around the little objectives, while all the space in between is kind of mostly inhabited. So not that much better in terms of strategic options. I mean, you do have possibilities of, let's go for this cap, go around and go for this cap or defend this cap, but it's all about the caps, and yeah, that's kind of an issue where you can't really play on the entire map anymore. But at least camping is dead, so there's not. I mean, it's not entirely dead, but much more than it was. Waypoints allow players to center the strategy by rushing, blocking, executed area control. I mean, for like noobs who had trouble of understanding of how to get from the beginning of the battle to either killing everyone or capturing the enemy base, it is much better. Short-term strategies are easier to come up with than long-term strategies. And yes, military fanatics, I know everything that happens on the field of battle is tactic, not a strategy. But since we don't have the overall strategy of a campaign map, we scale it down. And the strategy is, the thought with which you go into the game and then formulate your movements, while tactics are the small maneuvers that you perform in a single engagement. That's how we roll with it in Total War Arena Nomenclature and other games like that. I mean, I have been brought up by a soldier, so. A successful push from one team can be countered with the correct allocation of players and tactic by the opponent. At least it's a tactic. It should be a tactic or tactics, but whatever. Use grammar, who cares, right? We recognize that there has been some mixed feedback over the conceptual inclusion of respawn within a historical game. Come on, guys, it was never a historical game. It's just historically based on history, but never historical. Respawn represents replenishment and reinforcements, allowing for bigger, longer battles, and we are happy that, combined with the positives the mechanics brings, that it has so far been the right decision, though we always monitor and adjust every aspect of the game if we find suitable evidence to do so. I mean, yes, it has been a positive improvement of the game, so keep that. And if some people say, oh, it's not historical anymore, well, fuck them. It wasn't historical to begin with. But then again, you can't really say fuck them because those are potential players. But yeah, if you have to fuck one group or the other, better fuck this one, right? At this point, you're probably asking yourself, what about the old classic game mode? Is it dead? Well, no. Hey, so this is what we've been bringing up, that there will be multiple game modes and the old game mode will probably be back with alterations, obviously. Well, let's read what they wrote. We would like to bring it back in some format. Hey, there we go, that's exactly what I kind of said. Perhaps to accompany the current game mode during progression or in another format, as it does provide a high intensity, high risk mode for players who are searching for exactly that. Note that territory mode is currently the primary game mode from which balance is derived. In turn, if classic mode was to be reintroduced, it would contain imbalances. Okay, again, I mean, it didn't really change the balance that much. I mean, every single unit is pretty much as it was when Arena died. And because of that, in the light of new game mode with respawn points, now, you know, other rebalances resurfaced or just surfaced. And some things that were broken in the past are now even more broken. And that is what my challenge will be about. Continuing on, focused feedback. A technical alpha number 1 provided us with a good amount of objective and subjective. Oh wait, let's go back to the multiple game modes. We discussed during podcasts. We talked about how the balance between units needs to be absolutely right, because if it is, then it will be balanced in all game modes, irregardless whether there are respawns or not in other game modes. It will still be balanced. So balancing the units for a game mode is not necessarily the best of ideas. Just balance the units for the game itself as a whole. And then no matter in which game mode you put them, they should be fine. So there we go. I mean, obviously, that is not entirely 100% true, because the game mode will affect of how certain units perform and what can they do inside a battle, but you know, you get the overall idea. And if I were to dive really deep into it, this video would be way longer than it already is. And I'm sure the developers, at least some of them, are capable of such deep thinking. So yeah, I leave it to them. Focused feedback. Technical alpha number 1 provided us with a good amount of objective and subjective data to analyze. Overall, it displayed a good indicating that we are on the right track with the game's direction. To reaffirm the assumption, we are looking to increase the scale of our next test by increasing our player population, so expect plenty more commanders on the battlefield during Technical Alpha 2. Yes, please sign up for the next test. It's important we focus on small adjustments for tests like this to ensure feedback and data is comparable. The changes we've chosen to make in some areas are small but important. So what adjustments have we made? There were 2 key topics we chose to focus on: learning and battle balance. Learning. It was clear from feedback that the majority of players would like to gain a deeper knowledge and understanding of the game. As a result, we are working on creating a set of videos which will guide newcomers, provide top tips, and more advanced guidance. Well, it looks like we are going to have a race, Total War Arena team, because I'm also working on those, and you are well aware that I am. At least I hope so. As Josh haven't told. Excuse you, Josh, if you didn't. So, well, we'll have a competition of who can finish those first. But you can have a cheat mode because you have the game all the time and I don't. So, excuse you guys. As we get back on topic. And also, I don't have an army of, you know, professionals who are paid to do that. But I do have friends. Haha. Do you have friends? I hope you do. As a result, we are working on creating a set of videos. Okay. Sticking with the topic of learning, beginners to Arena are guided to participate in a number of PvE battles before taking on those pesky humans. Yeah, I hate those in PvP. Feedback in data, I don't know, clearly displayed to us that our AI difficulty was too high for the majority of newcomers. To be honest, yeah, like, again, I am the best player of Total War Arena of all time, and yeah, it was kind of struggle to play against AI. I mean, as long as you have a good team, they are like easy peasy to defeat. But when you're surrounded by noobs who are getting defeated by AI, it's an issue. But that's good. That means that their AI is actually not fucking stupid. Like, I praise the hell out of the AI, actually. But yeah, I also said that, like, I was surprised how we were close to losing to AI a few times. I mean, we lost once in 4 days of testing. But hey, we lost once because our team was so bad. Maybe it was my fault. But it's just one stupid loss against AI. No one's going to remember that. Yeah, okay. And in a few cases, for some more of our veteran fans. And so we've looked to attend to this issue in our upcoming technical alpha too. Okay, on a personal level, yeah, it was easy peasy, okay? They didn't outplay me. Totally not, no. To attend to this issue in our upcoming technical alpha too. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say that it's the first time Total War franchise has come up with good AI, but actually it isn't true. AI in Warhammer is actually pretty good as well. It can recognize, openings in flanks. It will use cavalry to flank, get in the rear of the enemy formation, and then look for gaps to hit artillery units or ranged units, and will not stupidly just suicide by going forward. And then you may ask, Mischu, what kind of battles have been playing? AI in Warhammer is fucking stupid. Well, under right circumstances, the AI can do well, okay? And you can obviously cheese the ever-loving shit out of AI, and where AI will have no idea what to do and just go frontal charge and suicide into your formation. You can do that, but if you give the AI a fighting chance, it will take it. It will take the fighting chance. So yeah. In terms of the AI in Total War Arena, as I said, it is pretty good. Like, I've noticed AI doing like the best thing to do in a certain situation. I was like, holy shit, this is what a good player would do. It's like, hell yeah, give me that AI. So yeah, but I get it, it's intended for newcomers, so yeah, you can nerf it, but keep it for a future PvE game mode, like historical battles. Just saying, make them PvE, be cool. Just get it right. And if you want to hear more about the PvE battles idea, go watch my feature podcast where we discuss that idea and many, many more. Getting back to the developer blog as I keep rambling on. Okay, balance. We've read already all the AI things. Yep. Balance. We expect this complex topic to be ever present as it evolves with the game and the community that plays it. As a result of Technical Alpha number 1, a small amount of fine-tuning has been made to the game to help normalize anomalies and reinforce gameplay principles. Okay, so here, small amount of fine-tuning. There's still huge glaring issues with the balance, so those are a little bit more than small amount of fine-tuning. So yeah, those are like bigger changes, but we'll see. I don't think we get patch notes here. Nope. Let me show you at the end. Okay. So we'll see in the patch notes, but small amount of fine-tuning doesn't sound like, oh, we've reworked certain problematic aspects of the game, so they're not problematic anymore. So I will make a video about that later. Once I get to play and actually show them off. As imbalance is corrected via multiple levers. I mean, yeah, levers or layers. Maybe it's a typo. It can be levers. You might find some of our alterations do not directly align to the issue you felt while playing the game. In example, Unit X is overpowered. Often the best solution can be distant from the result to ensure the overarching equilibrium is not disturbed. For more details on these changes, please visit our patch notes. Give patch notes then. Don't tell me to go visit patch notes when there are no patch notes yet. Come on. Or say, please look forward to our patch notes. Jeez, guys, wording, hell. What's next? Our intention is to provide major seasonal updates with which will come in the form of content and or features with minor regular updates in between to attend to smaller hot topics. This ensures a sustainable development environment and a suitable cadence for players to digest new features and content. Lastly, we are currently investigating the possibility of adding new content. In example, factions. Stay tuned and battling for more information on that. See you on the battlefield, commanders. And until then, we will see you on Arena's battlefields, commanders. Just, can you get that right, guys? Again, it's hello. Oh, this Chinese part. It's hello there and welcome. Hello there, commanders, and welcome. Not hello and welcome, commanders. It's not even grammatically correct. Come on, guys. You're not welcoming commanders. You are the commanders that are being welcomed to the video, to the developer blog. Come on, guys. You're British. How are you? I mean, not everyone. Hey. So, okay, about the new faction thing, right? Because on the main Arena website, which I have somewhere here in another tab, there we go. Yeah. Oh shit, this is not Google Chrome. So, well, you remember it's saying here somewhere in the third line, at the end of the second line, it said 5 camps, okay, factions. So, and then in the news story itself, which is here, that's the old sign up website. This is the story, news story. I mean, fuck, I don't translate this in Opera. Anyway, it did say here. Wasn't there a Boudica picture in here? Oh, there it is. Maybe, yeah, I think it was on other, but I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, but it did say 4 factions in here, 5 factions in here, and now we have currently investigating the possibility of adding new content, factions. Investigating the possibility. I mean, the possibility is there. You are well aware of how to put a faction in a game. You did that with 4 factions so far, so it's just... come on. This is the possibility that you're investigating, because you are well aware that possibility is there and you know how to do it. But stay tuned for more information on that. I mean, if we take it quite literally, it means they're still wondering when to input the next faction, and it wouldn't mean it is the next test. But I think what is happening here is just hype management. As in, okay, we already announced the next test. It is still 9 days away. from today. And we want to reveal what the next faction will be closer to the test itself to hype it up better. That is my guess. That what is happening. But we'll see. I mean, we did have the coronavirus thing, and possibly the test itself was also delayed because of that. And maybe the faction that was announced earlier, which was already in the coronavirus time, maybe they had to delay the faction by one patch, for example. It's like, hey, we're gonna bring a new faction next patch, but oh shit, coronavirus is really getting to the development team, and we cannot develop the patch as quickly as we would like to. Okay, put off the next faction by one patch and just finish the balance changes or whatever. And again, they did say they just did a small amount of fine-tuning in terms of balance. They're not introducing a new game mode. So what else would they have been working on? I wonder. I mean, it sounds kind of like a new faction, if you ask me. Alright, maybe they were just diving really deeply into feedback and trying multiple iterations. So yeah, we'll see about that on Arena's Battlefields, where I will see you, commanders. That's how we end the video. And that's not how you end it. Or maybe you do, or maybe I am.